Fire Escape Academy inspector training video. Again, two things you look for on a fire escape in order to violate it. The first and easiest one of them all is the deterioration. Has the fire escape been painted? This fire escape has some deterioration, but it's not major, but enough. You can see enough rust here. This fire escape has not seen a paint job in probably 10 years. So there's enough rust on it to say that you can tell that nobody's been painting this fire escape. Okay, but again, even that is a spot paint job will make this thing pass. But so now the second thing that everybody looks for is structural, an unsafe condition. So a couple of things unsafe, bent treads is a trip hazard, so several treads on this is bent. The other thing you want to look at also is underneath. If you can see any bolts that are missing, if you can see any rust, and there's rust. Anytime you can see rust underneath a tread, that's an indication that water has gotten in there and it's deteriorated the bolts. So whenever there's rust underneath, and if you look up this fire escape, we're looking for any type of rust. And at the very top two stairs, as you can see, there's rust there at the where the clip meets the stringer. The other thing you look for is any water penetration into the building. And as you can see in that support over there, the cement's missing on that support. So every time you see cement missing on the support going into the wall, that means water's getting in there and destroying the connection inside the wall. So automatically, and the other one over there too is it's missing cement. So now we've got an unsafe condition, and the fire escape can either be written on the deterioration, that because no one's been keeping it painted, and then the inspector will pick up the structural issues, or if you want to note something on there, the unsafe condition is this missing cement on the supports. There's damaged treads. There's rust on some of the clips of the treads. So these are all what's considered an unsafe condition, and that's what you can use to write a violation. As always, you can call, because we do offer free inspector training videos and inspector training classes, either online or at on site at various fire departments. You can give us a call at 866-649-0333. You can visit us online at fireescapeengineers.com. You can also just type in on the Google or YouTube video, type in Fire Escape Inspector, Fire Escape Inspections, Fire Escape Seminars, and you'll see a lot of these videos that we put up there for free. We'll also be able to send you Fire Escape confidence tests, Fire Escape tags, and again, all these are free of charge for you to use in case you don't have any in your city. Again, Fire Escape Engineers, 866-649-0333. Okay, here we are again. This building is called the Ballet Dallas and South Pearl. And what we're looking at again is two things we have to find every time we do a fire escape inspection. We must find deterioration, or we must find an unsafe condition. This fire escape looks like it hasn't been painted in at least 20 years. Got rust up and down the entire fire escape. Got rust coming down the building. So it's an indication that nobody's been maintaining this fire escape. So right away, just on this building alone, you can write a violation on just deterioration. That inspection will then trigger, and make sure when you write the violation that you write scrape and repair existing fire escape. So if you put scrape and paint, they will just do that. They will just scrape it and paint it. They won't check any of the rust. So you got to make sure you use the word repair. Scrape, repair, and test fire escape is the right terminology. So you have a rusty fire escape here, so that's alone. But let's say the fire escape was all painted and you were looking for other evidence of structural issues. And again, we have a gate here, so a lot of times you don't have the pleasure of walking up to it or underneath it, but just from far away you can see that the weight box on the cantilever is right over the main entranceway to the stairs. So in case that cable ever lets go, it's going to crush somebody on the head. Could be a fireman. You look at some of the treads on the fire escape, and it looks like some of the treads are bent. And you can see that visually from here. You can see rust coming down the sides of the building. That means that water's penetrated these support connections and it's rotting down the building. So these connections into the wall need to be verified. Usually with this much rust, there's usually an indication that there's rust on the connections. The treads are all square head bolts, so that's an indication that this fire escape has never been maintained. So it's most likely there's an unsafe condition here just on those factors alone. Again, any other further questions on any inspection or any training, you can always call us at Fire Escape Engineers or visit our website at firescapeengineers.com, 866-649-0333. We offer the seminars, the free confidence tests, the free tags, so that the cities can use to get their fire escape awareness up and running. You can also go on Google video or YouTube video and type in Fire Escape Seminar, Fire Escape Inspection, Fire Escape Inspector, Fire Escape Repairs, and all those will bring up various videos of just everything in about fire escapes that we've put up there online free of charge. Fire Escape Academy, Inspector Training. I believe we're here on Pearl. And I don't know the other street, but we're looking at a building here. And let's take a look at some of the things that you'd find if you just want one of two things. Deterioration is enough to write a violation, or structural issues, unsafe conditions. So let's take a look for deterioration. As you can see, the fire escape has rust throughout the fire escape, and this bracket here is an indication. It's an unpainted bracket, and if you look up, you can see rust throughout. So it's at least 10 years since this fire escape has seen a full paint job. So right away, the fact that they haven't been maintaining the paint job, which is what helps keep rust down, that's enough to write a violation on this building. Now, let's say the fire escape was fully painted and it was nice and pristine, which some people do. They'll keep it painted, but they won't keep it structurally sound. What other things are you looking for? Well, let's take a look at this. This is the weight box of this cantilever, this monster cantilever. By the way, this cantilever needs to be higher. Otherwise, trucks will clip this. Every time a truck comes in here, it'll cause severe damage, and that's why you have that new bracket there, because I'm sure a truck has hit it. It's supposed to be 12 to 14 feet from the ground horizontal. It has to have a release arm so that it drops 2 to 3 feet per second when released, so that it hits the ground and stays down. We need a barrier down here so nobody parks underneath it, so that in case there's an evacuation. But if that cable ever lets go, that will either destroy the staircase or that will kill and maim somebody if it ever hits a fireman or a person. So that's one of the reasons those things are supposed to be controlled in a box, so that in case there is a failure of the cable, the weight is controlled inside a box that traps it inside a box that's controlled. Now, if you look at the rest of this fire escape to see if there's any other structural issues, you can definitely see that some of these treads, they didn't re-bolt them, they just re-welded them. So temporary welds on a lot. You can see some of the bolts are all original squares, so that means they haven't been maintaining. So those are the things you look for from down below. You can tell the supports into the walls have been modified and have been repaired. Whether or not that was from a direct hit of a truck, that's another indication that they need a structural engineer review. If you look straight up, you can see some of the treads. They're all original square bolts. So this fire escape has not been maintained in its 50 to 75 year life or longer. You look into the wall, some of the cement is spalling. That's why they have some of these angle brackets that were welded onto the brackets themselves to reinforce. Again, you can't just do not an epoxy bolt. You can't do an expansion bolt on these. These have to be through bolted or epoxy bolted into the wall. So that's an indication. Looks like all of them have been reinforced, but with the improper bolt. It's an expansion bolt that I can see from here, not. So this fire escape has some safety issues, and the structural engineer's review will determine all of those. And upon confirming that the fire escape will hold a load, is to determine whether or not the connections into the wall are properly cemented, or if these clips were epoxy bolted versus expansion bolted back into the building. As always, you can always call Fire Escape Services for further information, 1-800-649-3333. You can ask about the free seminars, free confidence tests, free tags that we offer any and all cities looking to improve their fire escape awareness. At all times, you can go on the website, you can go to Google or YouTube video and type in Fire Escape Seminar, Fire Escape Inspection, Fire Escape Repair, and get a lot of different information free on the internet about how to properly inspect, repair all fire escapes.